never set out to seek revenge. All I ever wanted was love. But love, in their world, came with sharp edges, dressed in promises, sealed with lies. I thought I found forever. Instead, I found betrayal. Not just his, but theirs. His mother's silence. His sister's whispers. His father's shadow. They didn't break me with their cruelty. They broke me with their kindness. The kind that smiles while watching you drown. But the thing about drowning women like me, we don't stay lost. We rise on quitter, colder, untouchable. And when I rise, I don't come back for love. I come back for everything they never saw coming. Frankie, I laid it all bare. It started with Carlos and David. Then came the real blow. My parents knew everything. They weren't just aware of my brother's affair with my wife, they helped cover it. Mom even warned the twins to keep me in the dark. My whole family wasn't just complicit, they were comfortable. Emma, you thought I was close to breaking? You were right. But life wasn't done with me yet. The real twist? Megan wasn't my daughter, she was David's. Those 2 procedures I mentioned? Not fertility struggles, terminations. My children, gone. Meanwhile, she carried David's child, Jackson. Money problems started creeping in, debts they could barely manage. And me? My desire for revenge grew more intricate by the day. David was being groomed to run the company. Me? Just IT, a background player, kept around until Abigail found the courage to leave me for him. They wanted me stuck, holding things, together while raising David's child and funding their future. But I played along, quietly moving money offshore, persuading Abigail to remortgage the house, sold her a dream of pools and parties, while I funneled the funds to the Caymans. Behind the scenes, I hired a PI to bug the house. Cameras, audio, everything. I archived every message, every lie, every whisper, hidden in a safety deposit box under a new name, Luke Eli. Luke Eli became my alter ego, wealthy, educated, untouchable. Fake degrees, fake fortune, very real plans. 2 weeks later, an anonymous package would land on Abigail's desk, DNA results proving Megan wasn't mine. I even swabbed Megan in her sleep and lifted David's DNA from a wine glass at a family party. And the best part? I used the company's own email servers to request the results, fully knowing they'd discover it after I was long gone. David thought he was winning. He wasn't. He was arrogant, reckless, the perfect fool to run the company straight into the ground. I didn't need to destroy him. I just had to let him be himself. Still, I laid some traps of my own. Quiet lines of code buried in their financial systems, set to trigger when conditions were just right. Not an explosion of fire, but of silence. Machines frozen, operations paralyzed, phones dead, chaos. And when it hit, they'd never see me coming, because I was already gone. Luke Eli, ghost in the system, owner of their secrets, and soon, their fortune. Funny thing about betrayal, it never comes from strangers. It comes from the ones who swore they never would. The ones you trusted quietest, cut deepest. But I didn't break. I didn't beg. I watched. I learned. And when I returned, I wasn't looking for apologies. I came for balance. She approached. I smiled, intrigued. Frankie, I said, you've caught me at a bad time. I'm late for a meeting, but I'm very interested in your products. Enough to place a sizable order. Her eyes lit up. Hook set. Would you mind returning later? I asked. After 7? That's when the expo winds down. Here. I handed her my card. Call me tonight. I'll be relaxing at my hotel. We'll find somewhere quiet to talk. Privately. I watched curiosity stir behind her eyes, appetite sharpened by the scent of money. In fact, I added, why don't I reserve us a table at Mario's? 7 sharp, it's right here in the hotel. Best Italian in town. Of course, I glanced at her ring finger. Your husband is welcome too. Strictly business after all. She smiled, slowly, knowingly. Just me tonight, she said. My husband couldn't make the trip. Well then, I replied. Perhaps your colleagues? She shook her head coy. No, they're all tied up. It'll just be me. Perfect. Greedy. Exactly how I liked it. I excused myself and left. Not to any meeting, but to my penthouse suite to prepare. Showered, shaved, switched to a sharper suit. Armani again, but a cut above the last. When I arrived at the restaurant, she was already waiting, dressed to kill. Black dress, sky-high heels, cut low, hem high. The kind of look designed to ask without words. Are you watching? I was. Dinner was easy. She pitched her products. I listened. Polite, interested, non-committal. I promised nothing but hinted at everything. When we finalize our order, I said, we'll be in touch. Little did she know, we never would. My business was going to her fiercest competitor. After dinner, I suggested drinks at the club. She agreed without hesitation. Somewhere between the second dance and the third drink, her body pressed into mine. The evening changed temperature. Later, in my suite, it changed entirely. She was bold. No hesitation, no underwear, no pretense. That night, 3 rounds of unfiltered ambition and unspoken transactions. By morning, she'd moved her belongings into my suite like it was the most natural thing in the world. The final day of the conference. Over breakfast, she asked the question that had clearly been burning. Is there a Mrs. Eli? I smiled. Slow, deliberate. There was. A long time ago. But the road forked as roads sometimes do. No one's filled that space since. Her eyes sparkled, not with affection but calculation, and I let her wonder just how permanent I might let her stay. We shared one final, calculated moment of intimacy. But before I could fully indulge in sentiment, there were operational matters requiring my attention. In the coming months, I would disappear into carefully curated travels, equal parts camouflage and strategy. Once my affairs were in order, I would reach out. If she remained available after a few more curated encounters, so be it. We dressed, we left. She walked her way. I walked mine. In the elevator, I tore her business card into strips, discarded without hesitation. Monday, I contacted a private security firm, long retained, rarely activated. Their assignment was simple: surveillance, Abigail. My former. Family. Full coverage. No gaps. Despite her prior claims of a platonic marriage, reality proved otherwise. Microphones embedded in light fixtures. Cameras sewn into walls. Their frequency, 3 to 4 times per week. Impressive by conventional standards. Irrelevant by mine. What mattered were the specifics. David, faithful, attentive, almost obsessively so. He wanted another child. A son. Their pre-departure ritual intrigued me. Exhausting each other physically before travel. Primitive, but effective. 2 months passed. Then came the data point I had anticipated. On camera. Abigail arranging the living room, awaiting David's arrival. His entrance measured, composed, predictable. The conversation, confirmation. Congratulations. Eden V, approximately 8 weeks pregnant. The timing aligned with Las Vegas, the conference week, or the night of my return. She believed conception had been accidental. She believed it was David's. A voicemail. Later confirmed. She reconciled with her husband. Escape was no longer her objective. That amused me. I terminated surveillance. Equipment extracted, no trace left behind. Their privacy restored. Selectively. 9 months later, I monitored birth announcements. Abigail delivered a healthy baby boy. David, ever the loyal fool, cradled his son with pride. By then, I had executed the final transfer of leadership across all my holdings. I watched from my hacienda in Costa Rica, one of several residences designed for vanishing. Luke Eli was no more. His existence dissolved. Soon, even in Abigail's mind, I would become little more than an echo. Retribution, however, was still incomplete. A new Gmail account, a new operation. Abigail's perspective. 2 weeks postpartum. She named the boy Luke, a nod to memory, to sentiment, to foolishness. She believed I was infertile. I allowed her that belief. She believed the child was David's. So did David, for now. But the strange behavior she observed in David, the tension, the suspicion slowly infecting their home, that was me. Surgical, systematic, unfolding exactly as designed. David and I were expecting another child. The timing was cruel. Surgical. Part ways with me? I looked at him, calm. David, what exactly are you suggesting? My conscience was clean, my body hadn't belonged to anyone else, but apparently Vegas had evidence to the contrary. He slid an envelope across the table. His parents flanked him. And then, the sisters. Silent. Waiting for blood. I caught the envelope midair. Reflex. David. Who is he? He didn't flinch. 2 weeks ago, he began, clinical. I received an anonymous email, a link, footage, you, a man, Vegas, 9 months ago. He let it hang there, like a knife suspended between us. There was also a suggestion to get a paternity test. Inside the envelope, the results. David exhaled like a man about to make an incision. I'm not Luke's biological father. Silence. Absolute. The report didn't lie. A 40% partial match. 2. Close for coincidence, too far for comfort. The only possible candidate? His brother, Ethan. The same Ethan I had spent years avoiding. Strategically, intentionally, meticulously. And yet, here I was, holding his son. Coincidence? No. Ethan didn't gamble. He calculated. The vasectomy report, the dates, the trap, disguised as a chance encounter. He'd timed it down to biology. Legal war followed. David filed for child support. For Megan, I countered. With Luke. But Ethan had disappeared like vapor. No address, no records, no trail. Without him, David's case collapsed. You can't sue a ghost. In the end, David stayed. Not for love, for leverage. He paid. For Megan, for Luke, for silence. We lived, like business partners inhabiting the wreckage of a marriage. Eventually, we sold the house. Luke left for college. As for me, I remarried. 3 more children. A life rebuilt under a name they couldn't touch. Luke? I watch him from a distance. My son. Ethan's blood. David's name. One day I'll tell him. But not yet. Revenge is best served in silence. Cold. Precise. Irreversible.